morning. Whew, it's kind of smoky in here. What we got going on today is, well, the sprayer's running and warming up. So I'm going to be changing the oil in that, greasing it, changing fuel filters, air filters, yada, yada, yada. Basically, I'm going to be servicing that for the upcoming season. And it's a little cold out today. So I'm going to try and get to something else as well, but we'll see what issues I may run into doing this. I don't know what it is about the sprayer. It seems like I always run into an issue at some point throughout the day servicing it every year. Apparently the camera just shut off. This camera is getting more and more buggy and it's irking me. Had to open up the doors over here to kind of clear the smoke out. One thing I do, and I know I don't believe I mentioned this in any of my videos, but when I'm doing an oil change, after the vehicle warms up, I pull the key out of the ignition and throw it in the center console or side console of the tractor, whatever. That way, if I get a phone call and I have to leave and there's no oil in the motor, just by chance, if someone happens to stop by the farm and start a piece of equipment, it's just a safety precaution. That's all it is. As soon as oil gets put back in the motor, then I put the key back in the ignition. Anybody who has ever dealt with used diesel motor oil knows how black this stuff will make your skin and how hard it is to get clean. Thence the rubber gloves. And just so you guys know, I am 6'1" and I am standing on a 4-foot step ladder about halfway up right now to comfortably reach the oil filters. That's how tall these machines are. I was going to change the fuel filters, but judging by the hours on the machine, these fuel filters only have 10 hours on them. So I think I'm going to let these filters slide, because I remember changing them mid-season last year because I was having an issue with fuel problem. But because they only have 10 hours on them, I'm not going to waste a filter for that. So I think we're good. Okay, so we've got oil in it. I got the oil filter changed. I've been on the phone dealing with some stuff with the bank and my youngest son. But oil-wise, we're done. I need to change the hydraulic filters, the air filters, and grease the machine yet. Like I said, I'm not going to change the fuel filters yet, just because of the fact there's only 10 hours on those fuel filters. I don't see the need to spend the money on changing the filters. We'll change the filters probably later on in the year if need be. If not, I'll just do them again next spring. So let's get cracking on this air filter. Again, I'm up on my 4-foot ladder. You guys ever seen a filter like that before? Yeah, you don't want to know how much this thing costs. It's stupid. That's what the new one looks like. A little bit of a difference, huh? And John Deere was smart because you can't blow these filters out. I mean, it was smart on their part on making money, but my trigger, my start button quit working on the GoPro, on my handle. So I don't know if I gotta uninstall it and reinstall it or what. This new technology, sometimes technology's great and other times it just kind of irks me. Come on, get on there. There we go. The one cab filter is up in here. Now there's 3 different hydraulic filters on here. Well, they're not different, they're all the same, but there's 3 hydraulic filters. And there's one right in here, one here, and one here. I'm gonna change those, but I'm gonna do that in a couple minutes. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's another cab filter up in the cab. And I wanna do that while I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah, there it is. It's real convenient to get to. I got it. Judging by the dirt that's on there, I'm gonna guess that there might be a mouse nest in there. Wonderful. Although I haven't smelled any mice, but usually when you have chewed up pieces of paper like that, that's an indication of mice. Garbage. I'm sorry, this is a recirculation filter. My bad. At least it's made in the USA, and it says right on it, do not clean. There's a bit of a difference. I was breathing all that crap. Oh well, I should probably get the shop vac out and try and suck some of that nastiness out of there. Get the hose down in there, root it around as much as I can, I'm guessing, before I put this back in. And it wouldn't hurt to clean the cab out. I know there's some broken nozzles, valve bodies, things like that that are in there. So, gotta clean the cabs out at least once a year, right? I found this handy dandy little tray. We've actually been keeping it around for a while. It's been sitting on the shelf. And it's designed to go in between the seat and the buddy seat of the tractors. You know that spot I just showed you in the sprayer where all that crap was stacked? That's where this little tray is designed to go, in one of those areas. So I am super cleaning it right now because it had a bunch of dirt, and I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple pieces of candy in there that kind of melted in the heat and, you know, kind of made it nasty. So I'm gonna clean that up, And I'm going to use that tray in the sprayer, and I'm honestly thinking about ordering another one of these trays to put in the planting tractor, because I just checked and it would fit there also. And then the big tractor, there is a cubby there already, so I don't need the tray there. But this would be handy in the planting tractor as well. What this does is you can put your tools, I'm going to put valve bodies, things like that in here, because once in a while you hit a bump, if they're on the floor along inside there, you hit a bump and they'll roll forward and you're going to step on them. So in this tray, they won't slide forward. It's amazing how easily you can get distracted. Like, I went up in the cab to change the air filter, which that turned into changing the air filter, cleaning the cab out, finding that tray, cleaning the tray, putting that tray in, putting all the tools and valve bodies and extra nozzles and stuff in that little tray to keep them from rolling around in the cab. Now I can do the hydraulic oil, I think. And then after that, filters, fluids are changed, and I just need to grease it at that point. I do need to blow out this radiator, but I'm not going to do it in here because of the fact that it's going to create a lot of dust. And realistically, it needs to be power washed out. And I don't have the well turned on to the barn yet because it's still dipping down into the 20s. So I'm going to do the radiator at a later date, just before I start spraying. Okay, remember when beginning of the video when I said that every year I have an issue with this doing the service work on this? Here's my issue. It has 3 hydraulic filters, as I showed you. I changed 2 of them. I got to the 3rd one, and it just sits there and spins. I cannot get that filter off. It's just spinning on there. So, my issue is the nipple that comes out of the filter housing could be stripped. There could be a nut on the back side of it that is loosened up. It could be the filter itself have bad threads. But I went to the John Deere dealer to price out that filter housing, and it is $3,600. So at somehow I have to get this filter off to figure out what's going on with it and go from there. I got it. What I could see, the filter is the last few threads of the filter itself was stripped, and what I ended up doing is taking a hammer and beating it this way a couple times on that lip, and then got the wrench on it, and it was able to knock it off enough to where the threads, the remaining threads, could grab it and spin it off. I got lucky on that one. I got real lucky. So now these threads look perfectly fine. It was just the threads on the filter itself. So that's really good. Now it's just a matter of grabbing the new filter and spinning it on there. All right. Moment of truth. So far, so good. All right. So now that that pain in the butt is done, I need to grease it, which not a big deal. It's just a lot of grease fittings that's got to be gone over, and some of them I can't reach until you actually unfold the machine. So I can't do that until I get it outside. So, but I'll grease what I can grease. I also picked up the parts I need for the last row unit on the planters. So I'm going to pop that plastic holder in and the brush in, and then I can put the corn plate in, and then the planters will be ready to back out of the barn and unfold as well. That's not wanting to just push in there. There we go. Now you put this brush in here. Oh, it's stiff when it's new. All right. Just like that, all done. Complete. All right, guys, I'm going to put some tools away and run over what I can of the sprayer with the grease gun, and then probably call it a day. It's already getting pretty late, so I'll do what I can of that, and then I'll have to pull it outside to finish it, but I'll get what I can get done to it, and then we'll figure it out. Maybe the weather will break and tomorrow we might be able to back some of this stuff out and get it unfolded and go from there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I told you I'd have a struggle with the sprayer. I do every year, but it wasn't near as bad as I thought it would be, and we got her done. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.